The creative spaces that I find myself coming up with ideas in. Um, I learned 30 years ago from touring all the time that I can't have a particular place. You know, I have to be able to write songs on a tour bus or in a hotel room or in a men's room or whenever an idea comes up, I have to just sort of think, now at least I don't have to call my old answering machine if I had an idea out at dinner. And I have thousands of voice memos of ideas. When it comes to fleshing songs out and really sort of finishing them, again, I don't rely on any particular place. It's pretty free form. It can be in my living room. It can be, sometimes I just need to get in my car and drive around to get a lyric in my head, to really crack the code on a lyric. There's no particular place, and it's certainly not, one of those, like I need to be out in nature. Although, interestingly enough, I was watching this interview with Sting a long time ago. And he said that when he wrote Shape of My Heart, the music to Shape of My Heart was written by an incredible guitarist named Dominic Miller, who plays in Sting's band. And when they finished the music and the melody, Sting just took a walk in his garden because he had no idea what the lyrics should be. And he just walked and walked in his garden, and he said, I really feel like the lyrics were under that rock, and when he came back, he had the lyrics. And I love hiking, and so I found that when I'm stuck lyrically, or even when I just want to get started lyrically on something, I just hike. And I might not write the whole lyric, but I'll come back with at least a verse or a concept, or I will have made great progress just by saying, okay, instead of hiking for a workout or just to clear my head, I'm going to go hike and I'm going to write this lyric, and it never fails.
What would you say are the most prevalent ideas, themes for inspirations from the album?
I don't know that there's a particularly prevalent theme throughout, because it's kind of all over the place. There are sort of very typical love song, seduction, flirtatious stuff. But what I did try to do as a thread a little bit is, particularly with a song called Let Go, is this sense of detachment. And when I say detachment, a lot of people would think, well, it just means like being emotionally detached. That's not what it is. It's about letting go of worrying about what the outcome of your intentions will be. So even when it comes to a romantic relationship, any relationship, could be with a lover, could be with your kids, could be with your parent, right? It's a really kind of a interesting, and for a lot of people, me included at first, tough concept to understand that all you can control is how you feel about someone. All you can control is how you show your feelings for someone. If you're hung up on their reaction to it, if you're hung up on the outcome, then it's not really that pure. And so that song, Let Go, is really sort of a tribute to that philosophy. And it does show up in some of the other songs as well. I don't know about childhood stories, but when it comes to some of the songs about infatuation with someone or longing for someone, or when I was a boy, late 60s, early 70s, I don't know about now, but there was a pretty pervasive concept of girls are gross. And I never got that. Like, I had my first crush on a girl when I was 5. I never thought girls were gross. I always thought girls were awesome. And so some of my guy friends would tease me about, like, you have a crush on a girl? Ew. I'm like, dude, just wait, As I became, as I entered puberty, it wasn't just hormonal, but I really romanticized the idea of romance, and like I wanted to have a girlfriend, and I was a typical boy, but I was also pretty sensitive. Like if I would see an emotional movie, sometimes I'd get choked up, or I was in touch with my feminine side, let's put it that way. And some of the feelings that I had, like I had this massive, massive crush on a girl that was 2 years older than me when I was in ninth grade. And nothing ever happened because I was 2 years younger. I mean, that was probably just like one of the reasons. But I can remember the feeling in my gut when I would see her or think about her that I had in the very, very beginning and throughout my courtship with my wife Daisy now, and I still have it. I still have that knot in my stomach and butterflies, and so some of the stuff that I write about when it comes to relationships is still fueled by that all started when I was really, really young. And I love that I'm still in touch with that. I've never been what you'd call a topical writer. And it's funny because I think I'm pretty well read. I'm pretty consistently knowledgeable about what's going on, and I'm very opinionated about a lot of what's going on, especially right now, politically. And it's not that I don't feel that stuff has a place in pop music, because it does, and I've heard songs that I respect that made me think about an issue or whatever, whether it's the environment or just general sense of right and wrong and prejudice, but I'm not that kind of writer. It feels very contrived when I've tried to write songs like that, and it usually feels pretty contrived. And so once in a while I've stumbled into, like I wrote a song years ago in the 90s called One Man that was really loosely based on Martin Luther King, JFK, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. But it was so vague that it could have been interpreted. A lot of people heard the song and thought I was talking about Jesus. So I love when my songs are misinterpreted. But generally, that's not the kind of song that I want to hear that moves me. And so I guess maybe that's why I don't tend to write songs like that much.